Where are my people from? I've done my own genealogy and I'm stuck in Alabama in 1870. The Freedmen Bureau records that still have not cracked the nut on my own family history to be able to go back to get to what we say the water's edge, so to speak, for my people, right? When they came to America originally.
That man you just heard from is Thom Reed. He is the Deputy Chief Genealogical Officer for Family Search International, and he, like so many others who have African heritage, ran into that same roadblock, whether it be in 1870 or elsewhere, where it can be nearly impossible to break through and find out where they came from. Now, family is something that is important to everyone. There is something special about having that understanding of who you are, where you came from, and why you are the way that you are. Because love them or hate them, family has a great deal to do with who we are. And that connection is something that Thom and Family Search have been trying to offer everyone, and that's why they're part of an initiative called ROAR.
Well, we kind of sat back after, the Freedmen's Bureau project and said, hey, there's so much more to be done. And there's so many more people that can help in this work. What if we tried to get together with other entities who felt the same way that we did and provide more content, more records, more stories, more access for people of African descent around the world? And we found, like-minded individuals and friends who all wanted to do the same thing. And so our thought was, what if we bring all these sources together? What if we partner together? And what if we called this initiative Reclaiming Our African Roots? And as we kind of started toying around with a name that started to get some traction, because the acronym is ROAR. And it reminds you of the lion, the king of the jungle in Africa, and really that African heritage that for many, especially like myself, African Americans have lost or are disconnected from. And so with ROAR, this initiative, we really want to bring together multiple partners, multiple institutions and groups, bringing data and so many other valuable assets to enable those of African descent to discover their ancestors and be able to connect with their homeland.
As part of Thom's role at Family Search, in their efforts to try and find and preserve and digitize family histories and documents from around the globe, he had the chance to go to Africa with the crew and start their efforts to capture oral histories and genealogies from the tribes and groups across the countries of Africa.
And so I went over to Ghana to help film and prepare materials to train those who would be collecting the genealogies. How do you do a village entry? How do you document, these records? And so I went with the film crew and we went to Ghana and had a wonderful time documenting that story. I've got some great experiences of connecting with people there that I didn't know. I was the only one of African descent in my group that went. And I immediately had this receptivity that I didn't expect, right? I didn't speak the language. I didn't speak Fanti and Twi, but I was with people and they instantly gravitated to me, or we would talk and we'd use gestures and, some would know English actually. And so that was an easy way for me to communicate, but I had this connection and that made me think, where are my people from? I've done my own genealogy and I'm stuck in Alabama in 1870. The Freedmen Bureau records that still have not cracked the nut on my own family history to be able to go back to get to what we say the water's edge, so to speak, for my people, right? When they came to America originally. I know my people are of African descent and somehow got to this nation, but I've not been able to trace that back on paper. And so as I was in Africa, I was like, I need to know where I come from. And the easiest, simple way is through DNA.
Okay, so your DNA results summary, here we go. Okay. Thom Reed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ethnicity estimate right here, 42%. Cameroon and Congo. Wow. 15% Benin and Togo. 9% Mali and Timbuktu. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Whew, what am I feeling right now, right? I don't know. Like, this is just, like, I'm gonna cry. Oh my goodness. This is amazing.
All of a sudden, it hits me. Like I've just connected to my African roots.
I knew it would happen. I'm not sad. These are tears of joy, although I got this ugly look on my face right now. Woo!
And it was a powerful, I started crying. I didn't even
Wow.
know, like I just started crying like on video. Like as I tell the story, I almost cry now because it filled a hole in me that I didn't know I had. And it completed a sense of identity of me that I didn't realize I needed completed. Right. This whole, like, it's funny, in high school, I kind of went I had this identity crisis because I didn't know any connection to Africa, that I hardly didn't want to call myself African American. I was Black American. But that day in November, I was African. I wasn't African American. I was African. I was Cameroonian. I was Congolese. I was Nigerian that day, right? I was able to claim my African roots. And I'm still trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together because DNA says I'm there. And I'm hoping that with the increased test takers for DNA, that I might be able to find a living cousin over there and really be able, and what happens if that living cousin is in a village that we've documented their oral genealogy? Then I'm like, it's golden. Like that's the mother lode. That's what I would love to be able to experience for myself. But also we want to facilitate that at Family Search and with Roar for others as well, to have this whole experience, to paper, to DNA, to oral genealogies, to connect it all the way back and be able to have the sense of completeness that they may not otherwise have.
Now, some of those stories aren't always sunshine and rainbows, but it is our shared history that has molded us into the people that we are today.
And things like that. And we can't get so caught up in that. We just have to understand that's just the historical context of what it is, but more so understand these are the people that make up my life and are part of my DNA, whether I know it or not. And now I know, now I can do better. Maybe there's a way to connect with other family members or other family members of different races that I didn't know that I had. And that allows a bridge and a gap and a way for us to come together, even in the midst of pain. That's kind of what we want to do with Roar. We want to be able to connect people to history. And so that's why I encourage people during Black History Month to take the time, not just Blacks. One, if you're not Black History Month is for everyone. It's not just for Black people, right? You should know about the contributions of famous, people and those who are not so famous. The guy who patented the ice cream scooper, right, is a Black man. So every time you dig into your ice cream, you can thank a Black man for that, right? But knowing those types of things and expanding your own understanding, but also trying to find your personal connection is, I think, something that people can do, especially during Black History Month, because Black history is family history, is American history, is everyone's shared history. Right? We're all part of a great collective of humanity, and everyone's history is our history.
Now, if you want to learn more about your history, Roar, Roots Tech, or anything else about this story, we've got even more of it all over on our website at kslnewsradio.com. With that just about does it for me here this week. I want to thank you so very much for sticking around. For KSL News Radio's Heart of Utah, I'm Colby Walker. Now, if you are still here for that after credit scene, thank you for sticking around and helping with the watch time. This was a great video to make, and I want to thank Mr. Thom Reed for the wonderful conversation and for the important work that he's doing from right here in Utah that is having an incredible effect for people across the globe. And that is exactly what Heart of Utah is all about. It's these types of stories that make me so excited to work on this stuff every week. So if you have something wonderful or heartwarming that needs the spotlight shine on it, let me know. I've got all of the information right over there. So until next week, have a good one. Spread a little sunshine. Thanks for watching.